Welcome to Common Sense Podcast, where we apply common sense to everyday issues. Today, we're looking at the rise in femicide. And recently, there's been quite a few cases reporting this. I think the most recent case is the case of the three women that died, the ex-girlfriend, the sister, and the mum, who were killed by the ex-boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And I think they, in the media, they referred to him as the crossbow murderer because I think he tied them up and apparently used a crossbow to kill the three women. So that's been quite topical at the moment, and there's a lot of discussions on social media about it. And from my perspective, it was quite shocking, purely because I'm like, that's actually quite barbaric.
Very barbaric.
And I think I think there's a lot of discussions, and some of the family members that knew the guy came out and were talking generally, and they were talking about the patterns of behavior that he displayed that made them think that, okay, this man is not quite okay upstairs. People were talking about how he was quite abusive and very controlling. Like, it got to a point where apparently the girlfriend stopped wearing makeup because he had told her, I don't want you to wear makeup.
So there was multiple warning signs, I guess we would say.
Yes. And I guess, and I think she tweeted as well, people were saying that, she tweeted the day before that, oh, it takes a lot of strength for you to be able to walk away from a relationship. And because of what happened, people was like, it was almost as if she was basically speaking about her own case. But I think when you look at people's social media tweets and things that they're tweeting, you don't want to assume that it's about their personal life. So she was talking about, it doesn't matter how many times you're in an abusive situation, even if it takes you 12 years to leave, that in itself is strength. Yeah. And people need to recognize that. And it's quite unfortunate that when she decided to exercise her strength, it led to her death.
Do you think that while she was saying this in her tweets and so on in media, that it was like a cry for help for her? Or do you think that was her affirming what she needs to do next? How did it come across to you?
When I read it, I read it more as affirming.
Right.
I didn't read it as being... I think sometimes when you do something, you kind of need to... You know you've done the right thing, but you need to tell yourself that, okay, I've done this for my own benefit, even though in that moment, it might be painful.
Why, in your opinion, or even factually versus opinion, what do you know? Was there any other signs, would you say, for why he chose to do that?
The thing is that I don't know, and I think it came up as well that his brothers, funny enough, the alleged murderer's brother had also gone to jail for abusing a partner. So then I think that also raised the question of what is it that's happening?
Did he go to jail for abusing partner, or he some other dude because something to do with his car, vintage car or something.
But it came up that so then somebody was like,
they have military background as well.
Yes. But do you think...
I'm not saying military background is a red flag, as people say, but I think what it did was just despicable. I don't know what word to use. Yeah. But men kill men, right?
Yes.
I've always said, and I know my opinion probably will be brutal, I've always said man is the problem. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
So if a dog beats somebody, they normally put that dog down. And I advocated that any man who does that should be put down. Treat the man as an animal. We're animals anyway. We're just human species of animal. That's what we are. So if a dog beats somebody, they're going to put that dog down. If a lion was out on the loose, they'll be looking to hunt and kill them. But for humans, I just think any person who's doing that is broken and should be put down as well. It might be very, very unfortunate opinion or not very popular. Again, women are of the weaker sex. Whether we want to say feminism don't like that or not is our business, but it is true. On average, men are stronger than women. There are women that can beat me a lot.
From a physical perspective.
There are women who can beat me up big time.
No.
I ain't going to be fighting them, but I'm trying to say...
I think from a biological and physical perspective, you can't... That's not a point that anyone can argue.
So it tends to be, if you go to use survival for the fittest or all of those survival instincts, being the stronger one and seeing the woman as the weaker one, you always want to exercise your own sort of power over the person. A man and a man squaring up to each other on the street, sometimes it ends up not being violent because they know this is a dude who's got strength like me, can knock me out. They quickly de-escalate. A man and a woman is a different ballgame. It's a woman, I'll knock her out. So that animal instinct then comes up to the fore. So I say for that person, they need to be put down. There's need for more draconian measures with regards to that. But if you're talking about the woman putting things on the internet, because I didn't see all of that.
Oh, you didn't look at the tweets?
When the news came out, it flashed and all of that. I didn't want to go there. I was like, this is too much. But if she was putting that out there, I don't know whether that was cry for help. Because what I noticed that most people do on the internet is seek validation. You put anything on the internet, there'll be 100 people who will be like, applaud you on that. There'll be people 100 who will go against it. So we're always seeking validation for what we're doing, whether it's good or right. You see where I'm coming from? Again, the authorities have let people down. I would have said, why didn't she go to the police if he was being abusive all this time? But the police, they've been known to be very abusive themselves, and they've women too.
Yeah.
And also they don't believe women. So
I mean, that's a valid
you would
point.
understand why she would go to the court of public opinion to want to seek advice or put the cry for help out there. But
so Jude, I'm as you're speaking and I'm reflecting on what Nana said and what you're saying, and my mind internally I'm expanding it now in regards to the large array over years of the rise of this happening, and then listening to multiple stories, and then hearing many couples or women speak, hearing the elders speak, such as my mom, and hearing stories. And it does seem like a lot of men who apparently like women despise women. And I have to say that because it's no different to coming across a man that's known to have loads of women. A lot of them don't like women. It's a part of the role they need to play in order to satisfy the culture, their background, and so on. Why do I say that? Well, as we know, many are not even heterosexual. That's a whole nother conversation in itself. That they are forced to some degree in regards, again, culture, religion, environmental background. And it's no different to a man having to hire a woman for the evening and an escort to arrive at a professional function because of how it needs to look. Yeah. So some of them, they actually despise women. I don't mean those who are not heterosexual, because many of them who are not, doesn't mean that they despise women if they're not straight. I'm just saying there are a lot of men, and I've come across a few, and dated at least one, who... I remember saying to one particular person I was seeing in my 20s, it was the most traumatic relationship I've had. First and last traumatic relationship I would say I've had. And I said to him, you've had a lot of women, but I don't think you like us. And he was stunned when I said that. And I said, I think you enjoy the sexual exchange and the companionship and what that brings, but I don't think you like us. I think you loathe us. And he said, he actually immediately started to shed tears, and he called his sibling and said, Sylvia just said something to me. I've not cried from a boy, and it's made me tear up. And he said, oh my God. And he said, yeah, what I went through as a child, the abandonment, the beatings, and in some ways, molestation, the ill treatment. So he's learned to sleep with a woman next, beat them up next, but he doesn't love women.
But I get that. It's no excuse.
He's one in 1,000.
It's no excuse for...
It's not the excuse. What I'm trying to do with us is expand.
I know. But what I'm saying
the conversation and
it's no excuse for the behavior of men. Again, man is a dangerous being, very dangerous animal, and no man's going to argue against that. You just only have to look at wars and all of that, and violence against human like them and animals. We are very dangerous species. Fact, from time immemorial, our ancestors were very dangerous. Look at what P. Diddy did to that girl.
Oh yeah.
P. Diddy, all the guys who were in P. Diddy's camp.
He doesn't like women. There's no way you can like women and behave like that.
P. Diddy's camp came out. and said he was nasty. Did Mace ever say he did that to him? No. Did he do it to the other dudes who were with him? No. But he did it to the female.
But
or
can
the
I?
females in
But
his
can,
camp.
can, but
So
can I
again,
say
it's about
something?
power.
It is about
It's
power.
deeper than that. The
But
reason why
also-
It is power. It is. I'm stronger than you. That's why
it's a lot
it is.
deeper
But
than power.
also, I think that,
By
especially
far.
just bringing up P. Diddy's case, I think it's quite interesting that once again, you had all these men around him who knew what he was doing, but in that moment, none of them ever spoke up. It's only
How do we know no one spoke up at the time?
When
though?
I,
How
when
do
I
we
say
know?
no
What
one
do you mean
spoke
legally?
up, I mean,
Report.
yeah.
Openly and all.
Openly.
Otherwise.
But okay, so, okay,
And it
okay.
was almost
So let's
as if,
look at that though.
it was almost as if it was only when the video came out.
Well, of course.
Because bear in mind that when the claims came out and she lodged her claim, one, people were like, oh, why is it a civil claim? One, because they were like, oh, she just wants money. I know that there was discussions trying to discredit. I vividly remember this. There was discussions trying to discredit Cassie that, oh, she's only after money because she brought a civil claim.
Have you guys
That was
heard of
one.
Jagra Wright?
Who?
Jagra. She's a woman that's now speaking on everyone's scenario.
Yeah.
Now she's coming out with a lot of so-called evidence. She was in every situation where she witnessed everything, apparently. Yeah.
Well,
She didn't speak out
she didn't
then
say
either.
nothing at the time.
So what you got to remember, me personally, I do think that unless you are someone who's an advocate for justice, you might not want to take on P. Diddy as someone who's under him at that time. Let's be real
It's
frank
power.
here.
It's
Yeah,
a power
and
thing.
bottom
It's
line
power.
is,
I
and
understand.
bottom line is, I'm not saying wrong or right, but I'm saying from what it looks like it is, you are trying to get on the come up yourself. Are you prepared? Let's be honest, to be blackballed and not have no career, no say, and be wiped off the whole of Hollywood because you want to?
Of course.
Come on, are you willing to do it?
No, but here's the thing, right? Maybe once again, I
Yeah.
say this. I think people have different capabilities of what they can and
You'd
can't
have to
speak
be-
about. For some people, that's unbearable and that's not something that they can do. But my thing is that even if I'm not going to speak up about it, I'm not going to be affiliated with you.
See, that I understand, but on the flip side, I'm
But-
saying also some people are just looking at individual isolation survival. Same way Cassie wanted her thing and didn't leave immediately, same way the witness wants something and not saying anything.
But-
Because Cassie didn't leave straight away, honey.
It's
she
not about.
wasn't-
But what do you?
But she's-
the
no.
reason she didn't leave is not because she didn't want to leave. Again, it's
No,
power.
I'm just saying she didn't leave immediately, did she?
Even if she wanted
she
to, she
won.
couldn't.
I
Where
think
would
she was
she
too
go?
young.
Where would she go?
From my perspective.
She wasn't homeless.
She wouldn't. No, P Diddy's got power so much. He was and still is one of the most powerful executives ever to have walked the music field. He played it with the dangerous animals like himself, and he won. P Diddy had so much far reach that he could blackboard her.
That's what I'm
anywhere on
saying
earth.
right
And
now.
so
Are
it's-
you willing to be that
So
person?
it's power. So Cassie would have wanted to leave, and people would have wanted to help her as well, but they couldn't. Where are they gonna go? It's got the power and the reach. So
And I think we forget that if you had read the claim, she did try to leave on numerous occasions.
Right.
And what were the consequences?
What were the consequences?
Even that video where literally he would go drag her by her head, be like, "You belong to me. You're not going anywhere."
Again,
he would
this-
show up at her house. He raped her forcefully when she tried to leave at one point. Showed up at her house unannounced and was like, "Where are you going?" Like you're
That's
not
exactly
leaving.
what I'm saying.
So
So
I think it was like it's
you're treating
quite
them as properties, isn't
Very
it?
intimidating, man.
So
Anything
it's
you treat
really
as property,
intimidating.
Yeah.
anything you see as property becomes yours, and you see
I
fit to
feel
anyway
when
you
you look
destroy.
at it-
But this is why I chose to take it away from the political sense of the parameters and look at the childlike self that people know that I love to focus on, because you cannot escape your childlike self. It shows up in your friendship. It shows up mostly in your relationships.
Yeah.
And you can find them. Look, there's barristers, lawyers, whatever you want to call it, judges, doctors, surgeons, and they are phenomenal in their career. In their personal life is a different question. Because that's when you and your errors and
course.
traumas will come up.
Will come up, yeah.
Anyone can study something and pass it.
No, I
Yeah, we
agree.
get
Yeah.
that.
So what I'm saying is, when you look at these cases, clearly there is a disturbance for you to want to go around. Again, I know we haven't mentioned men being taken out or unalived, the word we should use, by women. I'm sure there is a number
No, that's
of that.
not even up for discussion.
No, but I'm saying it's fair that I mention it though.
It's not up
Yeah,
for
it's
discussion.
fair that I mention
it doesn't
it, yeah?
compare. So
Okay, but I'm going to mention it based on the human compassion of it all, even though we're not going to compare, because as we know it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I mean-
still, to those, we acknowledge you in this moment. For those who has had trauma or being unalived by women for whatever reason. And a lot of these cases, I must say, the women has unalived these men also because of being brutalized by, there has been cases where women have been brutalized by the man and she has unalived him and she's done prison sentence for it.
Yeah.
She's gone to prison for the self-defense because some of them I've seen cases where they've said it's not on record that you try to escape or ask for help. So when they've gone in self-defense or planned premeditatedly, now taken and unalived the person, they've gone to jail. Crime of passion or whatever they want to call it. Yeah. But going back onto this, it's the disturbance, and it somewhat intrigues me to understand, where is that despise coming from? What did that individual experience in childhood or in adulthood in their usual relationships? Because sometimes you just disappoint a man or betray a man once, that can be it for him in his adulthood, not even childhood.
Yeah.
Where now I don't trust nobody, I don't trust no women. And for an example, I've heard a few stories of women that's more than a few. My mum was sharing one with me last week of women that's wanted to end the relationship.
Yeah.
And because of trying to end it, the partner's like, if I can't have you, no one will.
I don't want to go far back to your childhood or trauma. Everyone,
yeah, but it's not about
everyone is traumatized.
Yeah, but I think it's wrong for you to say that.
I think it's wrong
for you to say that.
It's just ownership. It's properties. I want to leave you. No, you can't. Because I own you. I don't
but I'm
want
not
to see you
saying
with
that
the
as
next
an
dude.
excuse. What I'm trying to say is,
It's what it is, and that's what we need to check. We can talk about trauma.
I think it's important that we do.
Sigmund Freud talk
Yeah.
about man's love for.
It's not an excuse. It's an understanding.
It's not.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't want to bring that in because it almost becomes an excuse for all of them.
I think it's important that I bring it in.
Probably had trauma. That's why he did what he did to Sarah Everett. No, it's the basic instinct of the man being. We're violent by nature, and we see a weaker animal, a human species, another type. We're going to take what belongs to us. If the woman could match us with power, you approach the woman one time in the club and she says, no, you ain't going back.
See, you're not wrong, but
when the man goes to the woman, the woman said,
can
you please shift? I'm here by my side, I don't want to drink from you. The man gets violent immediately, and I've seen it countless of times. It ain't no trauma. It's just the incident. I'm stronger than you, I'm powerful than you. I need to talk to you the way I want to talk to you because I own you. It's what it is.
And I
we
think
understand
that also
that,
feeds into entitlement, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
The
not
type of being man.
Yeah.
The language we use.
And I think
I own you.
I think
You're
it's
not
certain,
wrong, but I think it's wrong to speak. It's like having a song. Every song has a beginning, middle, and the end. So me just focusing or us on the end doesn't make sense in regards to the journey, the narrative. So there's no way I'm giving it. I mean, I think people know my style. I'm very therapeutic in my approach.
Yeah.
So you're right. There's no wrong in what you're saying, but I'm also going to say just to look at the end of the song doesn't make sense.
Let me quickly go to two prominent people.
You know,
the former Home Secretary James Cleverly.
Here we go.
He jokingly said, "Spike my wife's drink," or "I do spike my wife's drink," or whatever he suggested.
Yeah.
His days alive. He can come ask me. He can come point fingers at me. People laughed at it. Oh, forget about that. That was just boys' talk. Even Kemi Badenoch, a black MP, a woman, and other women MPs supported him. It's just boys' talk. It's child. No, that is violence. Then another MP came out and said, we should kill Dan Abbott. She should be. Again, it's gone scot-free. Nobody did anything about that. We went out on the streets, we protested. Nobody's checking that because, again, it's boys' talk. That's the thing. I don't want to look back at whether that man's got trauma. That's it. It's the violence. I got trauma being a black person. You don't see me white people on the streets. I could do that and then blame it on the trauma I've suffered from whites.
I think there's no
I ain't
wrong.
blaming
I don't
trauma.
think there's anything wrong
We
with
are
saying
violent beings and we need to be put in check. Men kill men too. Men kill more men. Men kill women because man is a violent animal. Simple as that.
But don't we want to look at the psychodynamics as to where it comes from? I mean, and the reason why I'm saying that, I think you're right. You're being matter of fact, but you're talking about the end of the narrative. Every investigation has a beginning, middle, and end. Yeah? And if we want to tell our own narrative. So you're perfectly right. But if we're going to start there, then we finished the whole conversation already.
I like to start there because you did that. You should just go die. It should kill you.
I
don't want to know about your trauma from days back.
Do you know?
I really don't want to know about that.
Do you know? I mean, okay.
Come on, I carry a lot of trauma
I know
on me,
that I
man.
don't have the particular time to look at every individual like, oh, why my friend done this? But I'm talking about something that affects me, Nana, and the next generation. Mm-hmm. So if I'm keen to understand why there's so many people with the makeup who looks like the great idol candidate, but you don't even like us. Why? How are so many women being fooled? And it's not that I'm saying, oh, we should know better, because that's going to take spirit of discernment. That's going to take a woman like me and someone like, what's his name, Uma Johnson, that says, ask him what he thinks of women. Start off by asking him, what's your thoughts on women?
But also, I don't think...
I like that question.
Uma Johnson speaks about things like this.
I like it coming from, I don't know if I was going to say to you...
Yeah, you would like
what
him,
the way this... I know Dr.
you know him.
I was going to ask, when we meet girls, or boys and girls meet for the first time, what do they talk about? You
can't be obvious with those questions.
Also, I think we also have to bear in mind that when, especially during the talking stage, when you're getting to know somebody, everybody puts forward their best foot.
They're
giving you the answers
there was slip up.
Of course, I agree. But
you know,
within 10
minutes. Jude, I agree with you that they'll slip up. But sometimes, like, some people have mastered the art of deception to the extent that it actually takes quite a long time before you start to notice that your behavior raises.
Can I throw in one question?
No, honestly,
Uma Johnson says, which we all know, but now it's too easy for men to fall for. What's the relationship like between you and your mother? Let me just say for disclaimer, just because you don't know your mom or don't have a good relationship doesn't mean that you hate women. I think that we need to be careful of that one. Because people often think, if you're not close to your mom, then you must be a bad...
Let me bring another twist. I know we're talking about femicide. You see, I like what you said about, you can't just talk about the end and not bring the
beginning, middle, and end. Yeah, you have to.
We miss the beginning a lot. And when we get to the end, we then say, let's go look at the trauma. Look at what is happening to, what's her name? Kamala Harris. That's a woman, a very intelligent woman.
Yeah.
By her own right.
Yeah.
She's done so much better than Trump.
I mean,
even better than
are we getting political again?
No, I'm making a point. Better than Joe Biden, who is a boss.
Yeah.
Joe Biden's always been a career politician. He's never done anything in his life. I don't know if he owns any degree. That woman has been a state prosecutor and a state attorney general, a senator by her own right. But I want to tell you where the beginning we should look at. Character assassination. Joe Biden just said, I'm no longer in the race. That's a guy who was being freezing on stages, who's been showing signs of serious dementia. I'm coming to the point.
Okay.
Nobody on the streets cussed him, not even the media. The moment he said, I'm dropping my hat, I want Kamala Harris. I'm endorsing her. What happened? Everybody, both men and women, are cussing her. That's character assassination. It means she's easy pickings. Tomorrow, an idiot can get up and go take a shot at her. But they didn't do it to Biden, or maybe Trump claimed they did it to him. They didn't do it to Biden. What I'm saying is the character assassination start the way we talk about women.
I agree.
Property to own.
So do we need to wrap this up and have a part 2 at some point?
Do you know what it is?
I'm just telling you what it is.
I agree with you purely on the basis that I think even if you think about it, remember when Hillary Clinton was running against Trump?
The same abuse.
It was the same abuse in the public sphere. How we talk about and how we treat
women.
We
kill her in the public sphere, and we wonder why they killed her in private.
Essentially,
that's exactly what it is.
It's the media, it's whatever, how we talk about how we treat women.
Quickly, before we wrap up, Andrew Tate destroys and causes women online. Nobody talks about that. They still giving platforms to speak out and talk about his hatred.
There'll always be an audience for everything, even bad music. There'll always be an audience.
I get that, but what I'm trying to say, you character assassinate a woman, you destroy her, make her feel like a property of vermin, something to behold, and at the same time push away or stamp on the floor, and you wonder why a crossbow guy went to 3. Why didn't he go there when the dad was out?
I think we might be taking it slightly out of context, but I do accept your example though. I think we've taken it more, I think it's gone politically left, personally. But I do get your opinion. Okay. I think everything can be seen as political.
Oh yes, yes,
Yeah,
most
but I
definitely.
think that if we're going to go down that road, I don't know if we're going to go closer to the beginning. I think politics is politricks for a reason.
In your personal opinion.
Yeah, that's what we call it. The conscious community calls it politricks. They don't call it politics.
Okay,
'Cause
yeah.
to me, it's all engineered.
It's not okay.
We already know who's going to win the vote and everything. It's very engineered. So I take everything like that with a pinch of salt. Although it can be seen as a good example because it's your opinion and it's facts to what you see. But I don't know if it homes in to the causes of why women are being unalived. I think we've kind of moved aside.
I don't like the word unalived. Why women are being...
Yeah, but you got to understand.
Why women are being
on
murdered.
social media.
I don't care. It's
I'll
murdered.
just say for the camera's view.
It's murdered. I don't know what unalive is. What is
Social
unalive?
media, there's no longer... okay, this bit will be snapped.
killed.
This bit will be clipped, I'm sure.
It's murdered.
This
A woman has been murdered. 3 women were
I give
murdered.
up.
Okay. I don't know how to...
I give up.
No, seriously, I don't know how 3 women were
As you can
unalive.
see, this is actually
I give up.
this has brought out quite a lot of emotions purely because it's quite a topical subject.
Unalive is now a term used, so your videos do not get blocked.
And I said
on
I don't
media.
agree. They can block it as much as they
that's
want.
the reason why people are using certain terms now, yeah? So if we want
That's
our stuff to be
engineering.
seen, then
That's
we need to
that's
be mindful.
engineering opinion.
Yeah?
Okay.
But that's engineering opinion.
All right.
And that's it from us.
I ain't gonna tell my grandmother that they unalive my sister. How she gonna understand what unalive is?